I mentioned uh my new toy I got.
Your new purchase, yes.
Yeah. So, and you already know what's going on in the country right now in
Mhm.
regards to weapons and everything like that. The ban that they're trying to put in place on
What band? For
the
those that may not know.
basically the weapons ban that's trying to keep assault rifles out of the hands of civilians, basically everyday Americans. They're trying to either tax or ban the high capacity magazines and rounds and everything like that.
Hmm.
They're trying to make it a little harder as far as background checks and a whole bunch of other stuff
Hmm.
going on with this weapons ban. People are not happy. There's some people that are, oh yeah, I'm with it, but you know what I'm saying. The pro 2A people are really not happy, and now you got people buying up every rifle in sight and stuff like
If they
that
weren't
before the
already buying up stuff
yeah right
before.
before the ban comes. So what do you think about this weapons ban that they're trying to push through?
So we've talked about it a few times before, and my opinion really still hasn't changed. And a couple weeks ago, I kind of had a not really a argument, but more of a difference of opinions with a family member about it because they felt like there's no reason why civilians should have it.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, why not? It's like, what's the goal? If I want to protect my house,
Yeah,
that's the most efficient tool for the job.
yeah, and like I
So
mentioned several times, it's intimidating just looking at that motherfucker.
yeah, I mean, just why not be efficient? It's more precise. I mean, I've seen compare because I always thought that a shotgun was like the be all end all
Mm-mm.
of home defense. But the more I learn, the more I'm like, no, that's a little more. I mean, it's great. Don't get me wrong,
Yeah, it's
and
great.
I'm still gonna
Point
get
blank,
one.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's over
but
with.
yeah, precise. If you get in a situation where shit hits the fan, you want to be better prepared.
Yep.
And for me, again, I feel like it's one of those things where you don't get people are talking and trying to make decisions without truly understanding what they're doing. So
Mm-hmm.
like it's like, oh, you got these mass shooters that they're shooting with I don't ARs or whatever the case may be, ARs, AKs, whatever the case may be. And so that's the common denominator. Let's
Mm-hmm.
just ban those. And one of the arguments I always see that's like perfect, it's like, well, look how many automobile accidents there are.
Yeah,
Do we ban automobiles? Look at drunk driving. Do we ban drinking?
that's a good
I
point.
mean, that's kind of the same thing. It's one of those things that it's the low hanging fruit that still guarantee you we could ban them all day, and those unfortunate events that have happened in the past few weeks, few years, few months. I mean, there's always one every day
Mm-hmm.
with the mass shooting, unfortunately. But like I've said before, the only thing that'll change is the implement. I mean,
Yeah,
that's the only thing that'll change. I mean, you'll have handguns. I mean, you can still do damage with the handgun. You can still do damage with the shotgun.
yeah,
You can still do damage with the baseball bat. You can still do damage with the knife. I mean, there's if somebody has the worst intentions in mind and are out to do people harm because they have some sort of deep seated issues, they're gonna do it.
right.
And I don't feel like the people like I really wish that they would get people in the room and really
Yeah.
discuss how we root cause. Get like in my job, I used to deal with a lot of Lean Six Sigma stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and that's a lot of process improvements and stuff like that. So let's get
Right.
some whiteboards and start sketching some shit out with all parties involved. And that's
Yeah.
the key
Mm-hmm.
that we do is you get everybody who deals with the situation involved. So let's get folks from the 2A community. Let's get politicians. Let's get doctors. Let's get soldiers. Let's get police officers all in the room
Yeah.
together and
Absolutely.
kind of look at what are some of those common threads. And I guarantee you're talking about the tool. We're not talking about the
Right.
underlying conditions, be it mental health, be it socioeconomic, be it propaganda, be it something that they just got in their head and they believe through social
Mm-hmm.
media or
Yeah.
whatever. And let's deal with some of those things and not just say, oh, this is the villain of this particular issue. So let's vilify a particular tool. I mean, if you had an AR sitting right over there on the table in my patio, it's not hurting anybody by sitting
Mm-mm.
right there on the table in the
That motherfucker
patio.
ain't gonna jump up legs and
It
just
ain't
start going
right,
pat 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 pat
right.
pat. Hell no.
Let's deal with who's behind the shooter,
Yeah, you right.
behind the implement rather. Y'all ain't gonna get me tonight.
That's why we need weapons right there. Fucking
Right,
dinosaurs.
right. These Texas bugs, man, and it's only the beginning of the spring, so I'm scared.
Man,
Uh,
I'm scared to go to Mississippi.
but you don't really hear a lot of discussions being had. It's
Yeah.
we're gonna tell you what the problem is, and
Mhm.
no, you haven't fixed anything. I mean, and even if they buy them legally or illegally, you're not fixing
Yeah,
anything.
and it's just
I
that
mean,
coin. It's we're gonna do this shit and you're gonna
right.
fucking listen. Then it's fuck you, you can't tell me what to do. This is my constitutional right. I'm
Mhm.
free, blah 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 blah. And you're starting to see a lot of memes and pictures talking about the
Sure.
Holocaust, how the Jews had to give up all their weapons and
Yeah, I've
look what
seen
happened to
those.
them and things like that. So I mean, yeah, you're right, man. The conversation needs to be had, and it doesn't just need to be had with this little selected group. You need to bring
Mhm.
some two-way civilians in here. You need to bring some, some anti two-way people in there. Bring
Yeah,
them all
sure.
in. And it's just like we were saying on the council culture
Hmm.
segment. It's kind of the same thing. They just want to counsel this shit. They don't want to
Yeah.
dig and dig and dig and get to the root of the problem and find a fucking median that works for every fucking body. That's what they're not fucking doing. Because me personally, it's like I've told you, bro. I mean, whether they put this ban in that bitch or not, motherfuckers who really want to get whatever kind of tool they want to get, they gonna get that bitch. It don't
Hmm.
even matter. That shit don't
Right.
matter at all. Like fully automatic machine guns, somebody could get one somewhere right now, somewhere I'm sure. Ban, no ban, whatever the fuck. They don't really care. And then
Hmm.
the another point is think about like these really really strong ass like right wing militia folks, man. These motherfuckers just ain't gonna go for that shit.
Hmm.
I ain't saying they're gonna just kick off and just start a war or some shit like that, man. But I mean, it's gonna be a lot of barking, and I feel like our country in the past like 6 months or so have been through enough fucking embarrassment, frustration, violence. I
Hmm.
mean, it's been enough already. You know what I mean? And I hate to
Hmm.
sound like a pacifist peace medallion holding motherfucker that's ironically in the army, but I'm not. But I mean, it's just the fact of it. I mean, don't cause more problems than necessary. Like you said,
Hmm.
get to the root of this shit and figure out how to find that median to do this shit. Now, I feel like all this shit is not gonna pass. Of course, a lot of this shit's not
Hmm.
gonna go because a lot of this shit, from what I read like last week or so, there it's still like a 50-50 between
Yeah.
the Democrats and the
Hmm.
Republicans. But it's gonna be an interesting thing to see. It's gonna be an interesting thing to watch. And if it do actually takes place, I'm curious as to what demographic is gonna be targeted by this ban first.
Well, and if you listen to a couple people, and I won't say their names, but a lot of times they feel that it's going to impact poor and black people first. Because think about it. If you have, say, a high capacity magazine and you have to get it registered, and it's going to cost you $200 per magazine,
Mm-hmm.
and you've got three, that's $600 right there.
Yeah, that you ain't got.
If you ain't got $600 to just spend on that,
Yeah,
you're not going. I mean, especially if you're talking about somebody who gets like a store bought M&P that's like assuming that you could find it for MSRP,
yeah.
but they're about 6.99, I think, like that, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So you're basically doubling the price of the
The actual
weapon
weapon, yeah.
just for some arbitrary reason.
Right.
And what does that accomplish exactly?
Yeah, and
But then
most.
those who have the money and the means,
Mhm.
they're like, oh,
It's
there's no
cool.
problem.
Yeah,
Okay,
we
let me
just
get
pay it.
another one. That means there's more on the show for me.
Right, exactly. And it's one of those things to where one, but yeah, it's just like you said, man. The people on that lower poverty line, you know what I'm saying, regardless of what your race is going to be affected, and that
Hmm.
effect is not just going to lead to they're just not going to have any weapons, and it's going to be all for the rich. No, that's going to more than likely lead to more crime. And
Hmm.
if they can't get firearms, last time I checked, knives still kill people.
All day. Like I always say, baseball bats.
Yeah, baseball bats kill people,
Yeah.
crowbars kill people. I
Hmm.
mean, there are so many other things than a firearm that can kill some folks.
Hmm.
Um,
So
Go ahead.
what I wish they would do is instead of just looking at the tool when they have these discussions, look at the psyche and look at the history of all these people who've committed mass shootings.
Yeah,
you know, and I guarantee you there'll be some common threads
Mm-hmm.
where
Definitely.
they, and I
Definitely.
listened to a video where the dude was like, look at domestic violence as a trigger, look at abuse to animals, and not just necessarily get convicted, but having that on your record as a charge or something like that. Look at
Mm-hmm.
any kind of excessive violence. I guarantee you there's a certain commonality.
Or check their background. Have they ever been to a behavioral health specialist once or
Right.
twice? There's so many other options to just saying, you know what, we're just gonna put a
Mm-hmm.
fucking red council stamp on this shit, and that's gonna be that. Like I said, I
Mm-hmm.
just my personal opinion is, and I hope not, but I just feel like that's gonna cause more problems, honestly, than it's worth.
Yeah.
Find another alternative to just banning these things, because
I mean, because
go ahead.
then I always ask when you talk about the banning. So do those that already own stuff, are they grandfathered in? And if not, are you talking buybacks like they did in the, I think that was the 90s? And
Yeah,
if you
that
buy back, are they going to really buy back at a rate that is going to be, if I have something that I pay $1,500 for or more, and
mm,
you talking about you want to hand me $250 if
hell
if
no,
you buy it back, you can kiss my ass.
hell no. But somebody did that recently. I put it on one of our episodes
Yeah,
of, I think it was New Jersey.
yeah, it might have been.
One of the cities in
It
New
was somewhere
Jersey
in the
was doing
Northeast.
it. Yeah, and they would do the buyback plus they give you like an iPad or some shit like that. What I'm gonna do is somebody
Yeah.
breaking my goddamn house, throw that iPad at the motherfucker and hope he go
hmm
down.
There's an
Get
app that you can
the fuck
download
get the
that will
fuck out of
instantly
here.
protect you.
And then
Oh yeah.
just protecting your house alone, yeah. Of course, call the police, all that good stuff. But let's be factual. Police is not gonna get there in the flash of fucking light. They're not
I
fucking
mean, let's
RoboCop. They
do it
can't
like
teleport.
this. There's a police station less than 3 miles from my house.
Hmm.
If somebody kicks my door in, I'm knock on wood, right now, even if I called as soon as I saw that door hinge break, I guarantee you they won't get here in time to help me.
No, they'll get there in time to
And
clean up the mess. But you know,
yeah.
and I think about it the same way, man. And then just the fact of you having to call 911, because I've seen, I've called 911 at least once in my life. Cause I saw this
Mm-hmm.
like this autistic looking gentleman just walking and just being real erratic and stuff like that. And
Mm-hmm.
somebody kicking in your door, you ain't got time to give me your address, your first name, your last name, your blood type, which eye you see better out of. Are you breathing to the left? Are they breathing to the right? Can you
Right,
see them
right.
in the house? What kind of shoes they wearing? Ain't
Mm-hmm.
nobody got time for that shit. No, I'm gonna spray your motherfucking ass, and then I'll tell you everything he got on when y'all get here. And that's the fact. Even being
Yeah,
outside of the home is just as fucking dangerous. I know you've
yeah,
seen what happened in Columbia County like last month. The trucker pulled over
yeah.
some kind of road rage incident and shot and killed both of the folks that's in the car or whatever. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, there are so many incidents where a weapon is necessary, that's needed. When we go into Walmart or something like that, and you got your weapon on you, something kick off, motherfucker just want to start spraying up the place. Guess
Mm-hmm.
what? You saving more lives than that quote unquote mass shooter coming in and going to take because you got your weapon on
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, there was a guy I was reading in the shooting range I go to. They send out a newsletter and they talk about stories. And I think the gentleman was in a church.
Mm-hmm.
He might have been in a church. He was somewhere else, but somebody came in trying to shoot. He fired 2 shots and saved everybody in the building. Man, they don't talk about those stories don't drive ratings. So I
Right.
mean that's a part of it too.
Now the mass shootings, they're fucking horrible,
Mm-hmm.
without a doubt. The one in the movie theater, the ones that happened at school, especially the one with
Mm-hmm.
the little like kindergarten children. I can't remember the exact name, and forgive
Mm-hmm.
me everybody because I don't remember. But those were a lot of tragic shootings. The one that happened in Colorado, the one that happened here
Mm-hmm.
with the Asians. I mean, they're
Mm-hmm.
all fucked up scenarios, but like you said, let's take those individual cases
Right.
and see what's the common denominator in all of those cases, then address that common denominator.
Well, and the other thing too, on that same point, is watch how you report that shit. I mean, because when you think about it, once it happens, what do the news outlets go and do? They want to go and find everything about that shooter that they can find.
Yep.
They become a celebrity for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
And if somebody is demented and they're like, "Oh, I can go down as a martyr to my cause.
Yeah. I'm gonna go out here and do the same shit.
I'm gonna go and be famous." Let's not report who they are.
Yeah. So therefore,
I
it's
mean,
it's not the
yeah,
weapon, and because the shit could still happen, with a knife.
Yeah.
This
Hmm.
shit could
It
still
happened
happen.
in, I think that was in London a few years back, where a dude was just walking
Walk
through the
around stabbing
streets and
people.
just
Yeah,
stabbing
I
people.
remember
Yeah.
that. I remember that
That's
shit.
where their knife laws are freaking crazy.
Yeah, I mean bats, all that type of shit, man. You could still, you know what I'm saying? There's still other. It's the person. It's not the tool. It's
Yeah.
like a meme I
Hmm.
saw. It says, if guns, if weapons are, can kill people, then I failed this math test or whatever because my pencil failed it. I didn't fail it. It was my pencil. It's kind of like the
Yeah.
same
Hmm.
concept.
I
Like,
agree.
you know what I'm saying? The pencil can't move on its own, just like a trigger can't be fired on its own.
Right.
Minus some freak accidents with like a misfire or something like that. But then that's
And
something completely fucking different.
and see, I wonder how many people who are just anti-gun and just want to ban them and destroy them all and melt them down for scrap metal. How many have ever fired one
Right.
or ever been protected by one, or like their security is armed?
Yeah.
You know, how much have you ever interacted with one? I mean, I don't want somebody making judgments on something that I do, that I have, or that I use
Mm-hmm.
based on something that they have no experience on. That's
Exactly.
like me
Exactly.
hiring a contractor to fix some shit in my house that never even touched the hammer, don't even know what a brick is.
Right. Hell no, man. You gotta hit that nail with the screwdriver. What the fuck you doing, man?
Right, right.
Ban screwdrivers. Ban hammers
Hmm.
too.
Yeah, I
It's
mean, it's one of them
just
things, man. If you
ridiculous,
change the
man.
words like you just did,
Mm-hmm.
you hear how stupid that shit
Stupid,
sounds.
yeah. Real fucking
Wow,
stupid.
wow, right there,
Real
man.
fucking stupid. But the last thing I got with this whole weapons ban thing is I really hope our of our leaders of our country are really considering all of the options, not just doing what you think is popular
Yeah,
for a certain group or your certain inner circle, whatever the fuck the case may be. And at the same time, the people that are pro to where you can't really judge people who aren't because you don't really
yeah,
know their
right.
reasons. Because some of them have
True,
been in some traumatic incidents where they just
true,
don't want to touch a weapon, can't see a weapon. You know what I'm saying? There's people out there like that, and
and
that's why
that's
these
your
conversations
choice.
need to be had.
Yeah, I mean that's your choice. I mean,
Yeah.
if you don't feel comfortable carrying every day, for example,
Hmm.
that's your choice and your right to do that. But how conversely, if you choose to carry every
Hmm.
day, that's your right, and you should be able to do that if you decide to.
Right. Now, I'm not saying march in fucking foul line like the goddamn British in 1773 or some shit. You know what I'm saying? We ain't marching around like that with our shit, but we got
They
our
got me
shit.
again.
Damn, he got attacked again. See, god damn it. The bug's wings need to be banned.
That's right.
Ban the wings.
Ban the wings.
God damn it. But yeah, man, with that's really all I got with the weapons ban. Like I said, I hope they really
Yeah.
look into this a little bit more before they make a decision that could affect people's homes, people's lives, and the country as itself.